new moon in Gemini. This new moon at approximately 16 degrees of Gemini became exact at 8:37 a.m. New York time, which was 12:37 Greenwich Mean Time, yesterday on Thursday, June 6, 2024. It's notable that this new moon occurred on a 6-6 portal. A 6-6 portal opens the door for the enjoyment of pleasure and the material world, which very much falls under the umbrella of Gemini. We have a 5-planet stellium in Gemini on this new moon, with the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter all lining up in this mutable air sign. The Sun and Moon are almost exactly conjunct Venus, the planet of love, romance, art, music, fashion, and aesthetics. Since Venus is conjunct the Sun, it is also known as a Venus cazimi. A cazimi occurs when a planet exactly conjuncts the Sun, thus activating and illuminating the themes that that particular planet represents. The exact cazimi occurred on June 4th. This is the most romance and relationship-centric new or full moon in many years, with all the Venusian and Gemini energy present. More on this shortly. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, which is also currently in Gemini. Gemini rules the third house, which is the house of communication. It is a mutable air sign, making it the airiest of air signs. Gemini is the ruler of the mind, the intellect, and of communication. It is represented by the twins. According to Wikipedia, in Greek mythology, Gemini is associated with the myth of Castor and Pollux. Pollux was the son of Zeus, who seduced Leda, while Castor was the son of Tyndareus, the king of Sparta and Leda's husband. When Castor died because he was immortal, Pollux begged his father Zeus to give Castor immortality, which was done through uniting them together in the heavens. So that's the Greek mythology of Gemini. Gemini is also the busy social bee of the zodiac. Being the most adaptable sign of the zodiac, when we are under its influence, people tend to be more open and receptive to meeting and connecting with new people. It is a lucky time to network and form new friendships and business partnerships, as well as the perfect time to reconnect with old friends and connections. It's easier than ever now to strike up a conversation with someone new, so go for it. Humans are social beings, and we love being listened to. I'll discuss later in this podcast how to become a better listener. Gemini rules over writing as well, so now is the perfect time to get out your journal and write out your thoughts and insights about your life, especially with Jupiter conjunct and giving life to, as Jupiter does, Mercury as part of this intense 5-planet Gemini stellium. It's a great time to brainstorm for your future. What inspirations are coming up for you at this time? And please feel free to comment below. I love to hear from all of you. Let me know what is inspiring you right now. Relationships in focus. This Gemini new moon is hyper-focused on relationships, especially of the romantic ilk. With Venus being so heavily involved, we are feeling called to get out there and canoodle with potential romantic partners. It's not really a commitment type energy. It's very much the opposite, in fact. It's a very casual dating type energy. Gemini suns, moons, risings, and Venuses will feel very much at home in this type of energy. It's a let's just have fun, no commitments type of energy. Lots of people will be copulating for the fun of it over the next few weeks, and more about sex later in this podcast. Lots of people will be cheating on their significant others, and lots of people will be exploring kinks and multiple partners over the next few weeks. The Sun, Moon, and Venus squaring Saturn in this new moon chart spells potential trouble for long-term committed relationships. Saturn sometimes plays the role of Shiva, and in this context, Saturn could come along and create a dark night in those romantic partnerships where the soul contract is near its expiration date, or at least at an inflection point where the relationship is meant to move into the subsequent stage, and this could mean a separation or a breakup sometimes. For some couples, it could be revelations of cheating coming to the surface. Gemini has a reputation of being two-faced or many-faced, which is true. Gemini is everywhere at once, an adaptable chameleon. Gemini rules over cheating. People's inclination over the next few weeks will be to lie and deceive. It is advisable to light workers to stay in the light and be truthful and to speak your truth fearlessly. Many of you will face difficult decisions in regards to long-term romantic partnerships in the coming weeks. My most important advice is to trust your gut. If you've been feeling for a while that a relationship you're in is at or near its expiration date, then trust that. The universe may very well give you a clear possible out sometime over the next few weeks, and if you take this out, it will start to lead you down a path of separation that you're meant to undertake. For some couples, there will be a lengthy discussion around the long-term future of the relationship and the logistics around it. Some couples will be feeling the discordance of this untethered hyper-Gemini energy and wanting to remedy that feeling by making a long-term commitment or a long-term plan. For those couples that are meant to stay together for the long run, this will actually be a very beneficial energy. The Saturn square will force couples to work through the present-day manifestations of any lingering karma, while Jupiter trining Pluto and the North Node and forward-looking Aries sextiling the Sun, Moon, and Venus will present the opportunity for those soul-guided divine relationships to move forward with greater momentum than before into what is meant to be the next stages for the partnership. The North Node sextiling the Sun, Moon, and Venus also creates a ripe energetic environment for those who are single to magnetize a soul-guided divine partner to them. Harness this hyper-Gemini energy and put yourself out there over the next few weeks. However, with the Saturn square that's happening, be aware that you can just as easily magnetize karmic relationships, meaning people that you still carry negative karma with from other lifetimes. It will boil down to this, really. You will attract the type of relationship that you are vibrationally ready for. Oftentimes, lightworkers think that they are ready for that permanent divine union partner, but their soul knows they still have several karmic relationships yet to move through. Any karmic relationships that are hard written into your life plan, you will have to move through at one time or another. Ultimately, these karmic relationships are always crucial inflection points on one's awakening journey. Even if they aren't meant to morph into lifelong partners, they still do carry an invaluable worth. When planning an incarnation, the soul will generally plan out several significant romantic partnerships that are meant to take place during your lifetime. You will enter any given romantic relationship at a certain level of consciousness and evolution on your human journey, but you are always growing whether you know it or not. Every romantic relationship provides a tremendous potential for soul growth as you navigate your pre-planned life lessons. The more difficult the relationship, the faster the potential for growth. And note, this doesn't mean you should go out of your way to look for dysfunctional relationships, of course, because what I mean is there's the potential for growth. It is also possible to stay stuck in a few particular lessons and continue to manifest the same dysfunctional relationship with different characters over and over again. And I think almost all of us can think back through our lives and see that, right? There is such thing as a soul contract between each person in a romantic relationship. The soul contract was created before birth and states that the general lessons or themes that the parties will be helping each other through in that lifetime. It includes any major events that were pre-planned to occur during the relationship, such as accidents, illnesses, or a temporary separation. And it also will include different possibilities for the ending of the relationship based on the free will choices of each party up until that point and at that point. Often what happens is that the soul will set up a series of karmic soulmate relationships, or karmic relationships for short, for you to traverse through and learn from. And then if you finally do learn what you need to learn, you'll be able to attract your true divine union partner. There's also, of course, the category of twin flames. This is a special type of an incredibly intimate soul-based relationship, and these relationships carry a very long history and deep complexity back through many lifetimes. Twin flame journeys catalyze an incredible amount of growth for each person involved. Some twin flame contracts have the two of you merging together after a series of temporary separations, while other contracts have the twin flame journey wait to fully merge until a future lifetime, or have it written to ultimately be a friendship. If you're starseed, you knew your twin flame from one or more other planets. If you're an Earth seed, which means a non-star seed, your true twin flame is literally the other half of your original soul, which is a wild concept, but it's true as far as I understand. If you're in a relationship in which you intuitively feel like it's coming to an end, please understand it's not because you've done anything wrong or failed on your journey in any way at all. Quite to the contrary, the reality is that when a relationship comes to an end, it is because you've learned exactly what you were meant to learn from the relationship. Again, whether you're fully aware of it or not, and it's time to move on. Usually breakups aren't mutual. In the case of light workers, what most often happens is that one person's vibration accelerates at a much quicker rate than their partner's, creating a vibrational dissonance in the shared energetic field that has been created by the relationship. naturally the relationship will eventually have to come to a conclusion. When a partnership ends, it may feel sad on the human level, but on the soul level, it is actually a cause for celebration. Souls literally celebrate the ending of a relationship because they know that the soul contract has been dutifully fulfilled. They know that it means an exciting new beginning for the person, for both people. Many relationships will be reaching their conclusion during the next 28 days, and for those that don't, there may be twists and turns in the relationships that will need to be navigated through. Here are some questions that I would advise either thinking about or journaling on. And if you want to journal on them, please pause the podcast and just journal on the question. And also, if you go to the pinned comment below here on the Higher Self channel, there's all my links there, including the link to the article version of this where you can see all the questions. If I'm totally honest with myself, are my partner and I growing closer together or growing farther apart? If we are growing farther apart, could I accept, or at least accept a little bit more, that this may be the natural evolution of our relationship? Would I desire my partner to be totally honest with me if he or she had something to tell me? If so, then is there something I'm feeling that my partner deserves to know? Am I staying in a relationship because it feels good and I truly desire to be there, or because it is comfortable and recognizable? If I were to love myself just a little bit more, how might it improve this relationship with this other person? If I were to just be a little bit more lenient with my partner without feeling like I'm disrespecting myself, how might it improve our relationship? Sex and sexuality. With all the romantic energy I've already discussed, as well as sexy Mars at home in Aries, making a fiery square to Pluto, the planet of sex, in this new moon chart, sex is a natural topic at hand during this time. Sex is our nature. We are made from sex. All of nature is made from sex. The desire to procreate drives us to succeed and to actualize. This energy right now is about embracing sex as the sacred essence of life. This is a time to look within and examine whatever blocks, traumas, or reservations you have around sex. Psychotherapy, hypnosis, and some energy healing techniques can be very helpful in healing sexual blocks. With all the Gemini energy, it's time to enjoy the pleasure aspect of sex, and also to realize that sexual pleasure really derives from the mind. The mind is the most erogenous part of the body, truly. What turns you on is what creates the pleasure in your energy field. With this very active sexual energy in the air, it's also a good reminder that your sexual energy is yours to use as you desire, as long as you're not hurting others, but it is your life force energy. Anytime you release it or exchange it with another, you are giving your energy out. Is the person you're exchanging it with uplifting your energy or siphoning it? Or is it a neutral exchange? On another topic, Gemini has a tendency to be everywhere at once, but not necessarily focused. Let's discuss now how to better use the mind. How to better use the mind. Gemini rules over the mind. The mind can either be your worst enemy or your best friend. It all depends on your relationship with it. It's interesting to even contemplate what the mind is to you. Because if I'm saying that you can have a relationship with your mind, then it implies that perhaps you are not the mind. What an interesting thought. It is my belief that you are consciousness, using the mind as a tool to navigate experience. Buddhists and meditation experts know that the mind is intended to be used as a tool and not a detriment. This is why mindful meditation practices, such as becoming the observer of thoughts rather than being the thinker, are very helpful exercises to assist in your spiritual evolution. One of the biggest underlying reasons for drug, alcohol, and sex addiction is that someone's relationship with their own mind has become so toxic that they need to escape their own reality regularly. This is, of course, a dangerous place to be and indicative of significant changes needing to be made. However, the negative momentum built up by depression and anxiety can make it difficult to pull oneself out of the doldrums. That's why Gemini season is here to remind us that it's okay to reach out to others for help. Now is not the time to try to handle everything internally if it feels like too large of a cross to bear. Reach out to trusted friends and family who tend to be helpful, or to trusted healers, coaches, and therapists. Gemini season reminds us that we are all in this together, and although it is common to feel like an island in life, the truth is that whatever you've gone through or are going through, there are probably a lot of people out there who are going through something pretty similar. I get so many clients who are at the beginning stages of a spiritual awakening, and they're experiencing all sorts of weird things. Energy running through their body, sleepless nights, feeling disconnected from reality, you name it. They tend to think they're either crazy or totally alone until they start discovering videos and YouTube channels like this one, only to realize with fascination that there is a whole community of people interested in New Age spirituality who commonly experience much of the same weirdness. Just for fun, let's chat a bit about different levels of the mind and how you can better utilize them. Conscious mind. This is where you actually do the thinking from. Believe it or not, this accounts for only about 5% of your thoughts. To become a more awakened being, it is necessary to use this portion of the mind to drive your actual experience in the direction of your desired experience. This is the realm of willpower. Subconscious mind. This is essentially the software programs for your life. Your outer reality will be a reflection of what's going on here. The patterns built into the software program are written before you turn 7. Basically, you absorb the patterns of your parents and of those who raised you. The internal scripts that run in your voice inside your mind are created from things your parents or those who raised you habitually said to you when you were young. To live your desired life and to achieve your full potential, it is imperative to become aware of and then shift the negative subconscious patterns in your life. This can be achieved through therapy, energy healing, hypnosis, affirmations, subliminal audios, etc. The subconscious mind is responsible for approximately 95% of your thoughts. That's how important the subconscious is. Unconscious mind. This is where traumas are stored, including birth trauma, such as being born in a cold hospital room, being delivered by unfamiliar hands, having the umbilical cord cut, and circumcision. The subconscious will create your life circumstances with the intention of making sure that you don't have to feel the traumas of the unconscious mind. Collective mind. We are all connected into one another through the existence of the field. There is a conscious collective mind, which is, we could say, the amalgamation of the experiences, thoughts, and emotions of all 8 billion humans, and an unconscious collective mind, which is a part of the field that is wounded through trauma and karma, and thus asks, in a way, for certain collective experiences to occur via the law of attraction. This is the part of the collective mind that has attracted war right now, and it's also the part of the collective mind that is currently asking for disclosure, as we're slowly seeing the governments of the world start to essentially admit that aliens are real. Oftentimes, when light workers, empaths, are feeling down, they're really just empathing the conscious collective mind and need to disconnect from it and return to their own center, where the natural state of peace and joy can be found. Superconscious mind. This aspect of mind is connected to the infinite, including the Akashic records. Anything from the mind of God can be accessed here. This is the realm where we access the perspectives and memories from the soul aspect, higher self aspect, and we could say the Christed extraterrestrial aspect, which is your true galactic or intergalactic self if you're a starseed. This is the realm of intuition. To use this aspect of mind consciously and intently, it is necessary to be relaxed. The conscious mind is the aspect of mind that you most readily have access to, of course. If you can turn your conscious mind into your friend rather than your enemy, you'll find life becoming much more enjoyable and peaceful. Here are some suggested practices to enhance the usefulness of your conscious mind. Mindfulness meditation. Sit or lay down and breathe peacefully and deeply. Intend to become awareness and simply observe which thoughts come to you. You're not thinking the thoughts, you are observing the thoughts. Morning intention and visualization. The more that we live intentionally, the more that the conscious mind becomes an effective tool for transformation. There is no better way to start your day than to set a specific intention for the day and then to visualize the day going exactly as you want it to. You can set an intention to work on something specific during the day, or it can be something more general like, I intend to live from my heart today. For the visualization is also helpful and feels great to visualize your desired future weeks, months, and years out. The more that you bring positive emotion into the experience, the higher the probability that it will actually manifest in your physical reality. Journaling or voice journaling. When you record your experience of life, it is very helpful in making sense of your thoughts and your life, so you no longer need to think in circles. Recognizing when you're empathing someone else. When you're hearing negative thoughts in your head or judging yourself or even speaking negatively towards others or judging others, take a step back and evaluate whether these are really actually even your thoughts. Chances are they are not. It's this voice of a subconscious pattern that really came from your parents and caregivers, or is the words of someone around you you're actually empathing. Recognizing this in the moment can help you shift gears back towards your center, or we could call it your natural high vibration. Here's a good rule of thumb. If your thoughts aren't loving, supportive, and helpful, then they're not actually your thoughts. Yeah. We have something called T fields in our aura, where the thoughts of others from our present and past are stored in the form of energy. When your thoughts are not loving, assume that you're receiving the broadcast of these T fields and not actually consciously thinking. Take back control of the vehicle of consciousness that is you. You are the vehicle of consciousness. And think some loving thoughts, or better off, say them out loud. Let's now dig deep into another aspect of Gemini, learning to listen better. Learning to listen better. With Jupiter conjunct and giving energy to Mercury as part of this 5-planet Gemini stellium, communication is a prominent topic right now. So I'd like to present now a teaching on learning to listen better. The mind tends to be constantly overactive and overstimulated. We're all living in our own internal worlds, understanding one another just enough to live in somewhat of a functional and cohesive society with, obviously, much improvement to be had yet. With all of the mental chatter, most people tend to miss the details of life. One of the things that I've always prided myself on is attention to detail. Spelling errors bother me to no end, actually. And I'm sure, ironically, I've made one in the article version. Or maybe not, I did do spell check. I especially like to sit in my backyard or walk in public, and I'm always observing the details of life. Virgo moon does that for you. I like to spot all the different types of birds, all the different colors of the flowers, and even the chemtrails and the different designs in the sky. I also listen to detail. I hear all the different sounds that the birds make. I listen to the subtlety of the wind rustling through the trees. Learning to listen better makes you a much better communicator. Inexperienced interviewers, for example, really bother me. You can tell that they're not actually listening to what the person being interviewed is saying. They're just waiting until they stop talking and thinking of a follow-up question. A great interviewer listens closely to what the person is saying and asks spontaneous follow-up questions. I'm a Leo rising, and I swear to you that I could talk for 24 hours straight if I really wanted to. I can literally walk up to any person on the beach or the grocery store, wherever, and strike up a conversation. I am a conversationalist, and I'm a good one because I listen to what the other person is saying. And this is also why I'm a great spiritual life coach and mentor. And if you'd like to be a great spiritual life coach and mentor like me, please listen to the end of this podcast. I'm going to share with you a really exciting brand new opportunity to become a certified spiritual life coach from me. Make a commitment to listening more closely to what other people are saying to you. Make a pact with yourself to pay more attention to the sounds and sights of the world around you. And do your best to listen to your inner world. What is going on inside you, both physically and emotionally? Here's some other tips for practicing being a better listener. Listen to a song several times and focus on a different instrument or voice each time. Sit outside late at night and listen to faraway sounds. Listen to a podcast in one sitting and then tell someone your main takeaways from it. It's a great way to comprehend something better than you're used to, is to tell someone about what you just watched or listened to right after. Make a new friend, super easy to do during Gemini season, and ask them compelling questions. Try to understand what life is like in their shoes. Wishing you a happy, fun, and romantic new moon in Gemini, even if that means just being more romantic with yourself, which is just as important. So romance doesn't just have to be outward. It's a good reminder. And ultimately, in order to have a healthy experience of outward romance, we have to learn how to be inwardly romantic and to love ourselves to a deeper level than before. With love, this is Matthew John. Please do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you hadn't yet. And go to the pinned comment below the description box here if you're listening on the Higher Self channel and check out all of the links. So you've got the link to my website, my social media channels, including my YouTube channel where I post several videos a month. And you've got the link to the article version of this. As I said, it's nice to have the article version in order to do the journaling questions. So, as I said, I'm going to share with you an exciting opportunity to become a spiritual life coach certified by me. But first, I want to remind you that Ascending as One is active right now. This is an Ascending as One month, and it's a great time to jump in right for a second call, which is tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th, from 4 to 7 p.m. New York time, 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. It is a great topic. I'm super excited about this, and a lot of people in the group are connecting with Atlantis. So we're going to be taking a journey to Atlantis during this call. And also I'm going to share with you all I know about Atlantis, what happened at the end of Atlantis and Lemuria, what was Atlantis like during its heyday, which it was pretty great for a lot of it. A lot of the experience of Atlantis, at least, and then things kind of went sour at the end. But I'm going to share all that with you, plus, of course, the weekly astrology. So I'm not just going to talk about this new moon, but I'm going to talk about everything to come for the following week. It's a great time to jump in on Ascending as One. If you do Tier 2, you're going to get the recording of last week's call, which was healing your third eye chakra. You're going to get this week's call, which is connecting with Atlantis, and next week's call, which is Coaching Skills 101. And then if you do VIP, you get all of that, plus the June 30th Healing Your Feminine Mother Wounds call. And if you do VIP, you get all of that, but you also get access to the June 30th Healing Your Feminine Mother Wounds call, plus Syrian Channeling. That's going to be a Syrian Channeling segment where you get to actually hear and you get to actually watch me channel a group of 5 very wise Syrian extraterrestrial beings, and you get to ask them your questions through the chat, and it's really, really a lot of fun. So that's on June 30th. You also get a private reading with me in July. So it's a great deal if you join VIP because you get to work with me one-on-one as well. Ascending as One is my signature program, and it's how most people end up journeying deeper with me and having me as their teacher. So I'd highly recommend Ascending as One. Go to my website. Go to that pinned comment below to click the link to my website, or just go to youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org. Go to the courses, events, and retreats page. You can also see all of our upcoming events. You can also see all of the upcoming events. If you're in the Bay Area in San Francisco, please come out and see me on Friday, June 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. for How to Truly Live a Fifth Dimensional Life a live workshop at Unity San Francisco. And at the end of that workshop, the last 45 minutes or so, I'll also be doing gallery-style mediumship. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous venue. It's just $33 for a really in-depth 2-hour workshop. Great deal. You can purchase your ticket on that page or email me if you have any questions or if you want to purchase the ticket manually through me. And you can see all the other upcoming events this summer. There's a lot, including Disclosure Fest as well, the week before the San Francisco workshop. But also my Spiritual Life Coaching Certification course is a brand new offering beginning July 13th, a 6-week journey with me. 6 3-hour live calls. If you miss the live calls, you can watch the recordings, just like with Ascending as One. That's going to lead up to you becoming a certified spiritual life coach under me. How cool is that? I've been an extremely successful spiritual life coach for about the past 15 years, and I'm ready to teach it to you. So you're going to learn how to do spiritual life coaching, which is an entire profession, in and of itself, and its entire career if you want to make it an entire career, kind of like I have. And then you can also always incorporate intuitive and psychic work and energy healing and things like that into it. And I'm going to talk a lot about that in the course, how to synthesize your talents and gifts as a healer. I'm also going to teach you how to do hypnosis work, past life regression work, soul retrieval work, inner child healing work, medical intuitive work, EFT tapping, and so much more. So you're going to learn so many skills. You're going to have an entire toolbox of skills that you can use with your clients after taking this course. Highly, highly recommend doing this if you want to become a spiritual life coach, or if you're already a healer or already a coach and just want to add all of these different tools to your toolbox, or if you just want to learn from someone who's frankly the real deal, because there's a lot of crappy courses out there that cost way more than this one does. It's just $444 for the 6-week course and the certification. And if you join Ascending as One VIP first, or if you're already enrolled in Ascending as One VIP, you save 20%. It knocks it down to $355. The reason the price is so low is because this is a first-time offering. I will very likely repeat this next summer, and the price will be higher. But because this is the first time doing this course, it's kind of a trial run in a way. I wanted to keep the price really, really low. So if you have any questions about the course, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. And if you'd like, I'm happy to do a free phone consultation or Skype or Zoom, whatever, to go over the details of the course, or just to see if it would be a right fit for you, or just to see if it would be a good fit for you. So I'm very accessible. Any questions about anything I offer, any comments, etc., email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. My email is also in that pinned comment below. You can also find the contact me section on my website. All right, everyone, it's been such a pleasure, as always, talking to you on this new moon. And I look forward to our upcoming full moon, which will be in Capricorn. And yes, Cancer season is right around the corner. The next full moon is in Capricorn. So until then, everyone, please remember to be kind to yourself, to be kind to others, to be kind to animals, and to be kind to the earth. With love, this is Matthew John.